Shalom to the hopeful elect in the nation of Israel, so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans, and confusion of faces scattered throughout the four quarters of the earth through captivity. I want to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Ba'ashim Yahushai, Ba'ashim Rakah Kadash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders at Great Millstone that rule well. I wanted to go into this recent explosion of female teachers and different school faculty. You even have cases of social workers and other women in authority who are having relations with their students, okay? High school and younger, some as young as 12 years old, okay? And we know that a man becomes a man at 12 according to the law. But in this current society, the mind of a 12-year-old is that of an ancient day, probably fucking 6-year-old, man. Okay? And there is all kind of implications associated with this that it can be considered perverted. Okay? So when we see shit like this skyrocketing, the more these women become liberated in society, okay? The more so-called power, empowerment, and rights, and really lack of accountability, meaning they could do as they wilt without any repercussions, okay? We find that the laws and certain rules don't fucking apply to them. All right, more and more in society, and the more we see this type of liberation, we see the wickedness that the truth in these scriptures, that all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Okay, that the perversion of these women is only continuing to proliferate. All right, you have all kind of different cases of these women twerking on toddlers and shit, on little children, fucking dressing pretty much almost fucking half naked in front of children, you know, and that's also what spurs a lot of these incidents, the dress code and all that, which is completely fucking butchered according to the scriptures and even common fucking decency. All right. So we're seeing the perversion of these creatures, that they're very lewd, very lascivious. Okay. And that's what is plummeting this place further into destruction. When you look at the condition of a woman and now what she's allowed to do. Okay. Whatever the fuck she wants to further destroy society, okay? And that's why it was a great way the Most High set up, according to the prophecy, that a woman would surpass a man. What a better way to destroy a place, okay? Just as has happened in society. The fall of Rome could be contributed to so-called women's empowerment, feminism, and shit like that. Okay, all kind of parallels. So this thing is going to lead right up into that Micah 7:10. Okay, let's grab that real quick. You can see the pattern. You can see how the Most High is maneuvering with this. Okay. Let's see. It's a lock here. It says, then, Micah 7:10, then she that is mine enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her, which said unto me, Where is Yahweh thy power? Mine eye shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. Okay, that's what type of deal this is gonna transition into for this type of shit. Okay, this is just one component of many of the wickedness of the woman in society that's gonna lead to their own even fucking downfall. Okay, what does it talk about? That lewdness brings ushers in a famine. Okay, so let's jump into this article from April 21st, 2024, yesterday. That was updated today. Okay, it says the alarming cougars in the classroom, the alarming rate of teachers charged with raping young boys in America. And this is the kicker too, the wickedness factor. A lot of the victims, so called, are fucking women too. Okay, so you have that mo shit added in with it to show you that these women, man, there's no holes barred and no pun intended there. Okay, no holes barred. Okay, it says, oh yeah, and then there was other cases as well of sodomy. Okay, yeah, it goes really left. It says in the last year, dozens of teachers face sex crimes, charging charges involving students. The crimes have happened in 16 states, judging from California to New York. And Slovakia, I didn't even mention one of the main uh, um, offenses, okay, according to the law, and even according to these bitches' vows and all that other shit, that a lot of these women are married, okay, married with children, if not all, because um, they they all either have husbands on the books, on the American books, or or so-called boyfriends, which are fucking husbands. Okay, so they're all there. And how many other husbands have they had, right? So to show you, it's adultery is one of the main also offenses. You know, um, many of these predatory teachers are married with their own children. Dozens of female teachers have been arrested this year across the nation for sex crimes involving students as the seeming number of cougars in the classrooms continue to grow. A long line of female teachers allegedly involved with youngsters across the country dominates headlines. Okay. DailyMail.com discovered that 25 female teachers had been arrested in 16 states in only the last 12 months, and it is feared to be merely the tip of the iceberg, as there appears to be no centralized data collection to track this disturbing trend. Okay. In the last month, buried New Jersey teacher Jessica Sawicki, right? See, we don't need to go into the dirty details, all right? But they're just going to town. It says many of the accused female teachers charged in the last year are married, and one was even named Teacher of the Year. The teachers are enticing students with S-charge text, nude photos and videos before and during physical encounters. It says leading child psychologist Dr. Michael Oberschneider of Ashburn Psychological Services said social media influence has contributed to the abuse dynamic and rise in number of cases. Okay, and when going into psychology, you got to understand that the mind of a fucking um, what are these boys, and they range from the ages of really 10. There's a case I saw of a boy as young as 10 years old. Okay, and from between 10 and 18, the mind and the psyche of a 10 to 18-year-old is that of an ancient day, like fucking 5 to 10-year-old. Okay, straight up. Um, and they are and really would be considered mental children. Okay, having the mind of a child. So there is implications with this, even if the bitch was fucking so-called single or unmarried. Which, come on, man. Um, she already had the football team in college, right? So it says um, the social media influence has contributed to the abuse dynamic and rise in number of cases, right? So once again, we see that this wicked ass fucking social media has contributed to this wickedness, man. That allowed it, gave it avenues for it to go down, and that's what we've seen with the internet, okay, and mainly social media. We've seen a fucking a massive proliferation of crimes, of crime, man, of wickedness. Let's see. Social media can serve to blur the lines between the student-teacher relationship, which can in turn open the doors to more inappropriate outcomes. He explained that students have more access to their teachers through various online formats, which can lead to inappropriate communication and even inappropriate relations of an S nature. See, so once again, there's a quote that social media is going to be the downfall of society. Okay, it's gonna, and it is. It's going to be the death. The death of society is actually the quote. Okay, and indeed it will, because look, that's why none of these marriages, and that's a serious a fucking offense, man. A fucking adultery and all this adulterous culture that we're in. A fucking fluid swapping and um, the, these bitches on the cock carousel and all this crazy shit, you know. It's gonna lead to the death of society, man. Amongst many other shit. It says, as we've seen in the news, some female teachers are choosing to put out S-focused content on sites like OF, Loyal Fans, Fansly, and other similar platforms that students can then see and be part of. All right, this place is lewd, man, and it's only a matter of time. Now we know how fucking close we are on every side, right? In every pretty much category of Babylon, and across the planet, as this place has been a golden cup in the hands of the nations, and then they've had a hand in all type of turmoil that's going down across the world. You know, they've done it with through deception. Okay, we see what's going down over there in the so-called Middle East, right? Fucking uh, Israel and Iran, um, fucking Ukraine, Russia, all these Taiwan, China, and America. We see all these things fucking escalating, bubbling over. All right, to see how close we are. This place is fucking on its way out completely. We're almost out of here, man. He said he even said he said even Instagram and other social media platforms allow students to see and possibly interact with their teacher in more personal or intimate ways. Think, you never had me growing up in the 90s and a little in the early 2000s, didn't have, couldn't text message. We didn't have like a teacher's cell phone. And that's when cell phones were first coming out. the kids barely had them, right? And I'd say like 2002, right? Is when the kids started to have their little phones and shit, cell phones, right? But even still, you wouldn't really have the teacher's number like that. But think now how easy and more accessible people are through those DMs um, and all the different. I mean, how many are there? How many different messaging apps and social media sites really are there, man? Fucking dozens. No, Slovakia. There's actually millions. Okay, you have 9 million apps on Apple and Android, on fucking the App Store and the Play Store. Okay, 9 million of them hoes. And how many of those are social media? Even lots of different gaming apps are considered social media because you can message and video chat and contact motherfuckers through there, DM, all that. Okay, so this place is it just breeds, and it's a breeding grounds for wickedness, especially in this manner. Okay, because everyone's morals have been fucking corrupted by society, what they call um, social engineering. Okay, the morals have um, gradually started to go away over the 50, like in the 60s, right? With that whole era, you know what that was about: sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And then the 70s, 80s, 90s, into what you have now. Okay, check it out. It says we're about to hit these pre's. It says, while female teachers tend to be motivated, Slovakia. Let's see. Yeah, let's go down. He said, while female teachers tend to be motivated, it seems to abuse their students in different ways and for different reasons. It often revolves around emotional conflict, unmet intimacy needs, personal issues, loneliness, and feelings of isolation. Okay. See? Going to town. These are completely loose. Okay. Unbridled. Can't be stopped. Can't be tamed. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. All this stuff is really just going into the details. I think I hit most of the points. It says, see. All right, here it is. It says, it's extremely disturbing and disheartening to see all these cases of young teachers abusing their power and taking advantage of young students. As students, we go into it with full hearts ready to help students. As teachers, we go into it with full hearts ready to help students to get them ready for their future. You spend an entire day with them for a whole year, and you truly get to know these students. And I could never imagine someone going into teaching with the intention of hurting or abusing these students. But see, they don't understand the whole system. The whole structure is broken. Okay? They don't understand that is a breeding grounds for infidelity. Okay? A breeding grounds for these types of relationships to bud. Who's spending fucking long hours every day with these people, like it said, in somewhat mostly intimate relationships with these students and teachers. It shows you how the whole fucking structure is off and how much this could be limited by just having a male teach the boys like it's supposed to be, according to the scriptures. And according to nature, man, how you're not supposed to sit with another man's fucking wife and have her all in your face. And another article I saw is, should there be a dress code with teachers? Let me display that real quick. This fucking bitch named Teacher Bay. What kind of shit is that? Okay. And absolutely there should be a dress code enforced. But this is the type of shit that breeds this kind of wickedness, man. All right, it says, it says, Business Insider's Matt Drange revealed in a recent report about the epidemic of teacher relationships many of the sordid details, including emoji-filled text messages, transcripts from investigations, and disciplinary files. Drange said the pages documented grooming and groping, the sharing of rod pics and porn and corn, sexualized comments in classrooms, um, fucking copulation, right, in bathrooms, and statutory rape that in some cases continued for years. His report highlights a disturbing pattern in school administrators across the U.S. catastrophically failing to prevent abuse, and there's no federal agency, he said, that tracks teachers' misconduct, right? So you come to find out a lot of these districts have to pay out the victims, all right? It said in just one of them, Bering Strait School District in Alaska, it said that district had to cash out just 12.6 million just in 2019 alone to victims, okay? And that's fucking taxpayer dollars. All right, so this whole fucking system is wicked and destructive. All right, and all these things, the way that he's running this society, are all examples and a lesson to the world, primarily to us, to Israel, that the Most High's way is the way of life. All right, the flourishing of life and prosperity, and without it is death and destruction. Ease way, okay? It said this one chick had a married mother of 4 from Illinois was accused of grooming and raping an 11-year-old. Okay? It said that this 38-year-old teacher is allegedly, she's fucking pregnant with her pre-teens victim's child and has 2 other children. Okay? Pre-teen, that means 12 or above, or younger. Okay? So you you can understand what the scriptures outline the entire time about these creatures, but really just about Esau, Edom too, and why are most of them Edomites? Okay, 99% of them are fucking Edomites, man. They said between, but and really there you saw the nigger woman in there too, and the spick. So really, none of them are right. Okay, but she saws the worst, of course. Okay, there just as it speaks about Esau being a vile creature. That's the man, woman, and child of that nation, man. Okay, this is between 17 and 22, at least. 1,895 teachers have had unfavorable action taken against their credentials by state education licensing boards for sexual misconduct and inappropriate relationships that may not be of a sexual nature. That may not be of a sexual nature, according to the nonprofit National Association of State Directors of Teacher Education and Certification. That the figure is an underestimation since many states do not provide the reason why a teacher's credentials were suspended or revoked. Okay? So, just as we state, a lot of these cases are downplayed, or the amount of them. And there's a lot more. Think of the motherfuckers who have not come forward. All right? And as much as a man, come on, that's a fucking score of what we would think is there's other implications to it. It's more than the little nigga just getting some box. Okay? And we're gonna jump into these scriptures. Sirach 26:12 says, "She will open her mouth as a thirsty traveler when he hath found a fountain, and drink of every water near her. By every hedge will she sit down and open her quiver against every arrow." Not some arrows, against every arrow. Okay, and this is in reference to a woman. All right, she's not bridled or has no boundaries when it comes to who she will allow to to lay down with her. All right, a young fucking 9, 10, 11-year-old boy. All right, that's not a problem in her eyes. All right, and that's what happens when women are allowed to gad abroad. All right, this is what, going into one of the premises of this whole lesson, the whole lesson from the Most High. Okay, and then of course of this segment, this video epistle, is that the more a woman is allowed so-called rights and empowerment, which in turn allows for the lack of accountability and allowed to be liberated to do whatever the fuck they want, more wickedness spreads. All right? And this is what happens in a classroom with a bunch of fucking young men. All right? That's why not only were women supposed to be fucking dressed up head to toe, adorned in modest apparel, but they weren't supposed to be around other men. Women are not supposed to be around other men, even unfucking married women, because they only one thing wants to go down. Ultimately, really, okay, you want to fucking pop her, and that's the case at all these damn schools. From, we were in them bitches from middle school, even some in elementary. You had the little boys with a crush on the teacher and all this shit, because that whole thing was out of order in the first place. Okay. But you see, she has no boundaries and no will of resistance. She has no fucking resistance. Okay. No judgment. They have terrible judgment, right? They have meaning that they can't make good decisions, right? Their judgment calls and all this shit. This is in Sirach 25:25. "Give the water no passage, neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad." Okay? And an example of giving a water passage is when the levees broke during Hurricane Katrina. That was most of the devastation from that event, was when the levees broke the dam and allowed the water from the dam to flow throughout the city, throughout fucking Katrina, or Slakia, throughout New Orleans, and destroy that fucking town, those towns. Okay, because the water fucking it flooded the shit, and water damage is the worst. Okay, it could take out a whole. What happened to the during the time of the flood, man? Okay, very destructive. It said neither a wicked woman liberty to gad abroad, because they'll cause the same thing, and they've caused mayhem in this society by them being allowed to gad abroad. Look at that. That shows you giving them liberty causes destruction, as if you would give water passage in a city. It's gonna go through the city and fucking destroy everything, and that's the case in this place. This is in Sirach 25:19. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. So there's no boundaries. There's no extent to her wickedness. Okay. They don't have like those fucking any type of like restrictions or inhibitions and shit like that. Okay. And in their ultimate rebellion that they're in, they're gonna do the most. They're doing the most. It's in 1 Timothy 2:12. This is in reference to the church as well as other men, or young men or boys. A fucking man is supposed to raise a boy. I don't care if it's in the household or the classroom. All right. It says, "But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence." Okay. And women, they raise little bitches anyway. Looking at these single family homes and these single mothers raising these completely effeminate men. Okay. So a woman is not supposed to fucking teach, man. Straight up. Let's go into this Titus 2 and 4. This is to show you that a woman, she's supposed to fucking teach other women, other young women, and other girls. That's it. Okay. That they may teach. Titus 2 and 4. It says that they may teach the young women to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of the Most High be not blasphemed. And that's what's happened. The Most High's word is being transgressed to the ultimate, to the maximum. Even in a place, in a country that said it was supposed to be formed off of Judeo-Christian values. That not only was it to be formed, that there was a declaration made just 40 years ago about with Reagan, that said it's a declaration, a proclamation that America should be operating based off of the laws of the Bible. Okay. And in that, and in the transgression of the laws of these scriptures, the blaspheming of the Most High and His word, do we have destruction on all sides. Okay. This place is in complete turmoil, as it says in Isaiah the 24th chapter. Okay. The people and the earth and the world is languishing because they've broken the everlasting ordinances, the covenants, these laws, man. Which is what leads to optimal health. Okay. So one of the things that it said that the fucking women, first of all, the kicker, women are supposed to be teaching young women and girls only, not boys. Okay. And then, if anything, they're to be what a woman, where she's supposed to fucking be at is at the home. Okay. And obedient to her husband. Keep her at home, literally in the blue letter, it means stayer at the house. Okay. One that stays at the house, and for good reason too. All right. That's why the whole concept of a date and dating is prostitution. You never took a woman out in public, your woman, out to go on a fucking date, out to dinner in a dining room full of tables that are just a few feet apart, and you dressed her up, she's dressed up to the nines, usually scantily clad, right? Where all other men are busting down your wife in their mind while you're at this restaurant or at the movies or wherever the fuck you go, to the club, right? Take your wife to pretty much get eye fucked by a whole bunch of other men. All right, what kind of shit is this world? It's complete wickedness. And this new so-called way of life, to understand that it's completely a warped way of operating. Okay, even in the fucking early 1900s, even up to the 50s and shit, they knew that shit was unacceptable. All right. This is in uh, Sirach 9. All right. And 9. It says, sit not at all with another man's wife, nor sit down with her in thine arms. So we're just focusing on the first section of this verse, Sirach 9 and 9. Sit not at all with another man's wife. Okay? For obvious fucking reasons. So all those married teachers should not have been in a room full of young men. All right, that's a literal breeding ground for adultery and all these other um, infractions. All right, just all this other transgression and iniquity that's bred from it. These, because a lot of times the the teachers are getting passed around. All right, it's not just one of the students. All right, and this is what's gonna lead to the downfall of this fucking society. All right, let's see. Finish off with this, because if a, if a king is destroyed, it's synonymous with a kingdom being destroyed. All right. Proverbs 31 and 3, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. Okay. So giving women strength and liberty and allowing them to do what they want, and even allowing them to do anything outside of what the scriptures say, which is very fucking strict compared to modern day. Okay, they're supposed to be dressed up, covered up, head to toe. All right, they're not supposed to really go out any fucking where. Straight up, okay? They're not supposed to go to the fucking marketplace, restaurant, none of that shit. All that shit could be done in the home. All right. And many other restrictions that are had on them, according to these laws, and just the proper way that society should be conducted to prevent fucking sin and iniquity. Okay, to prevent fucking adultery and all the other implications that has. Okay, to understand that these laws are going to be, like it says, seek the old way, seek the ancient way, the old paths. And it speaks about in Sirach 39 that to, that we are to seek the way that is supposed to be sought after is the way of the ancient, the wisdom, the knowledge of the ancients. Okay, going into those old paths And that's the way that's going to be reestablished in the kingdom, which is going to be on earth. Okay, the headquarters, the capital, in of course in Jerusalem, but this earth is going to be the capital, if you will, of the universe. This is going to be like the where the kingdom is going to be the center point, if you will, the establishing uh, planet, right? Because we know that all these other planets that the Most High created aren't just for fucking show. The Most High doesn't work like that, all right? Everything has a fucking function. And it's told to us, to those that have ears, um, that there there are many mansions in the Most High. He said, um, "In my house are many mansions." How could there be mansions in a house? Okay, let's go into his outer atmosphere, if you will, out of the atmosphere of the earth. Okay, out where you see all those fucking innumerable planets that some of E's technology can pick up visually, but where he can't go. All right, but right here on Earth is where the kingdom is going to be established, and best believe that the laws are going to be reestablished. The old ways, a woman is going back into subjection. All right, we're coming into the time of the great humbling of the woman, but that's going to transition into them being humbled for eternity. They're going to be in a super humbled state. Of course, they're going to be pampered and fucking and on all that shit. But they're going back into subjection. All right, because if not, they'll destroy a kingdom just like they have. All right, give not thy strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroy kings and kingdoms. All right. So with that, all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakah Kadash, the water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, for revealing the true nature and spirit of these wicked fucking demons, man. And doing so to bring a close into this, into Esau's world, to him that exalted them. All right. Shalom.